Welcome to the Solomon Show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is doing well. On today's panel, we have Gabriel, and we also have your host, Solomon. Now let's get right into it. Welcome to part 7 of the summer session Getaway. I hope you have a wonderful summer break. If not, that's what this show is for. Let's start things off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, I love straightforward people. The lack of drama makes life so much easier. Now it's story time. Alright, what's your first story?
Am I right or wrong for not stopping my friend from publicly proposing when I know that she plans to break up with him?
Oh, oh my gosh, I don't know. That's kind of rough one. I would tell them you guys really suck. Oh my gosh.
Well, you don't have to tell them that they're going to break up, but you could definitely do something so that they don't, propose
Oh
and then
yeah. Tell her, hey, you need to break up with him now because he's gonna propose to you. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so sad. Okay.
my friend Mark has been planning a huge proposal for months. He's one of those people that loves big gestures, flash mobs, surprise parties, that kind of thing. His plan is to propose to her at a concert next week. He somehow arranged for the band to briefly pause between songs so that he can go on the stage.
Oh no.
He spent thousands of dollars organizing this. Here's the problem. 2 weeks ago, his girlfriend asked me if we could talk privately. She said she's been thinking about ending the relationship for a while. Nothing dramatic happened. She just feels like they've grown apart. She had no idea that Mark was planning a proposal. I tried gently suggest
What difference does that make? That's horrible. Don't bring people along. That's not right. You're using people. Like, I'm not gonna bite you in the butt. This girl is on my nerves right now. Uh huh.
I tried gently suggesting that maybe she should talk to him soon if she's feeling that way. She said that she planned to break up with him after the concert because she didn't want to ruin the night that he'd been looking forward to. I almost told her about the proposal right then. But Mark told me about it in confidence months earlier. So now I'm stuck with this information from both sides. Mark is expecting the happiest moment of his life, while his girlfriend is planning to end things a few days later.
You know what? The friend should have just told her right then he's gonna propose to you. You need to break up with him before the concert. That way he can have the concert with himself up after and go with somebody and try to cheer him up or something like that. And then just say, you know what, you spend a lot of money on this concert, you need to go. Because I won't want to go, but he's been looking forward to this, you need to go. And you can say, well, maybe it's your mind proposal. And like, no, remember, before you met this girl, you liked this fruit. So think of this as your free, whatever moment. I'm going to remember who I used to be before I was with this person. Remember that person. This is your farewell to that person and your celebration of who you are when you go to this event. That's what you should do. That's what I would do. Uh-huh.
Part of me thinks that I should warn Mark so that he doesn't humiliate himself in front of thousands of people. But if I tell him, I'm betraying her trust.
She's not going to be in the picture anymore. Uh,
If I tell her about the proposal, I'm betraying his.
Look, you want to be on the side of you on the side of the devil. The girl's the devil. Whose side are you on?
So I have said nothing. And unless something changes, he's probably about to propose to someone who already knows she's going to leave him.
Let me
Um,
tell you something. Sorry for interrupting. Let me tell you something. If I was the guy found out that you knew, I wouldn't want anything to do with you anymore. Because my thing is, what I said in the show, guys, loyalty is everything. If you're not loyal to me, you knew this and you didn't let me know, I wouldn't want anything to do with you. That's crazy. This is life altering pain. Like, and you're letting me walk into the lion's den or on the shooting range to get shot? No. Sorry.
It's just, am I right or am I wrong?
Hey, it's up to you. But like I said, you're going to be the bad guy either way. You're already in the situation. So if you don't tell the guy friends that you knew he's not going to be friends with you anymore, now you're the crossroads. You pick who's what do you want to tell? Whose side you want to be on? The side of right, the side of wrong. You don't use people. This girl is wrong. Bringing him along, getting a free concert out of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hmm. Is it? Anything else? Go with what I told you before. That's my answer to you. Good luck, but you are in trouble. Personally, I would want in this situation, but as a loyal friend, that's what I would do. But I said that's my answer to you. Good luck.
Now it's time for another quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, be grateful for every second of every day that you get to spend with the people you love. Life is so very precious. Now it's story time.
All right, what's the next story?
Am I right or am I wrong for ending my engagement after my fiance said that she would never have her whole face? That she has
You
never,
have a what?
she never had her whole face.
Her whole face? A whole face. I thought you said whole face, like FACE. She never had a whole face. Like, what's a whole face? Oh, she never had a whole face. PHAFE? Like phase of life? Oh, jeez. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay.
I was with my ex for 7 years. We started dating in middle school and stayed together through high school and after. We were engaged and planning a wedding. I thought we were solid. Looking back, I realize now that I missed a lot of red flags. She would yell at me to the point where her own parents could tell it from another room. Her mom actually warned her a couple of times that if she didn't change, I would leave her. She slowly cut me off from friends and family over the years, and I didn't even notice it until after we split and people started apologizing for ghosting me. When we hit our early 20s, her attitude completely flipped.
Oh, so they've been together since teenagers?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He said since middle school.
Wow. Sorry, this is okay.
She went from sweet to just mean. She would threaten to break up, then apologize 5 minutes later. You know that girl, the one that unalived those two boys? That's how she was. She was so controlling and narcissistic. They pulled
The two boys from where?
the car that she drove the car into the building.
Oh,
They
yeah.
pulled up all the texts, and it was like that. Like the switch was on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off.
Yeah, look at that. It was
Narcissistic,
on
controlling behavior.
the crash. Yeah, the crash. Yeah. Did you know? Update. So update on that. Did you know that people are paying all this money and doing petitions to let her out? They're giving her millions of dollars. And now, like from jail, she's like advertising beauty products, like this glamorous lifestyle from jail. They're giving her a glamorous lifestyle. She kills people, and this we're rewarding it. Like I'm saying, guys, like we are normalizing all this crazy stuff. Like I don't know what's going on. That's why we got to be extra hard on fighting hatred and fighting evil and doing away with all this bad stuff. This is not the world I want to live in. I don't think this is the world you want to live in either. For people that support this channel, like please, we need to be vocal about it. You see something, you say something, report it. Like this workplace situation, report it. It's not okay. It's not okay. Hatred needs to go.
After pulling all those texts, You could see that it was a slow progression. Like she was super sweet in the beginning, and then it slowly started like little nudges. See how far can I take it? How far can I take it? It got to the point where she would text, I'll count to five. One, two, sending text after text, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't answer by five, we're done. If you don't answer by five, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. It's crazy the way people can break other people down and control them to that point. It's really sad that these people can't break out of it. But I guess if you look at the big picture, these people are master manipulators and they know how to do it in a manner that it's barely noticeable. So if other people are telling you to run away, please listen.
The part that got me the most about that story is that when the parents of the boy that died found out how abusive the girl was because they welcomed her in the family with open arms, they treated her so well, and to find out the level of abuse, the level of hell that the girl was putting in life, it was just so sad. The parents are so
She would pull me aside at gatherings to call me an embarrassment. She complained constantly that things were boring in the bedroom. Then came the fight that ended it all. We were arguing about something stupid, and she said she felt like we should have taken a break years ago because she never got to go through her whole phase in high school. I just stood there. She threw the engagement ring at me, then apologized. I told her I needed time to cool off before work. While I was at work, she went to some guy's house that I never heard of and texted me about it, not even trying to hide it. After another argument where she called me an embarrassment again, I decided that I was done. I went home while she was at work and I moved all my stuff to my grandma's place. Her mom saw me while I was out and started crying when I told her that I was leaving. She said she knew it was coming and that I had nothing to apologize for. Later that day, my ex called me sobbing. Then her dad got on the phone and told her to stop. I told her it was over and she just said, okay, I'm blocking you now, bye. Oh, that's real mature. Since then, I have reconnected with my friends who all told me that they could not stand her. My life has been way more stable. I found out later she was posting videos of herself dancing at bars looking like she finally got her whole face. Part of me still wonders if I gave up too fast, but honestly, I think I stayed too long.
okay, good, good. Learn from this. You got to look into yourself and look back on what happened and learn to recognize the signs for a not a good relationship. Because, like Gabriel was saying, these people will find a solid person, and they will chip away at you. We'll start out military at the beginning, and they come in with a hammer, the bulldozer, and all of a sudden you're parents and nothing. And you think that it's okay, but it's not. And sometimes your friends and family are something, but they'll manipulate you into seeing them as an enemy and stuff. And it's really sad. I've gone to people, very close friends in life that lost because they just can't see past the darkness and they get sucked into it. And I'm not going to drag myself into it. I'll try to help you as best I can, but it comes to a point where I may dip my toes, but I'm not putting my whole foot in there because sometimes I can get pulled into, and I need all both arms, both legs, and my head is touching my body. I'm not doing anything too over this stuff. I tell you once, twice, that's it, no more. So I'm glad you woke up. Please reflect back and learn from this so it doesn't happen again. And, thank your friends and stuff for chiming in and trying to help you too. Anything else you want to add to this one? All right. Look at this one. Good luck to you.
Now it's time for another quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is life advice. Be patient with results but never become comfortable with excuses. Growth requires both persistence and accountability. Now it's story time.
All right, what's the last
Am I right or wrong for going no contact with my mother in law after she showed up at the hospital when we clearly said we wanted no visitors? I, 25 female, and my husband, Dan, 24, started dating 4 years ago. I could tell from the start that his mom did not like me. She was always cold, passive aggressive, or would just completely ignore me, and I never really truly understood why. I always tried to interact, have conversations, ask questions about her, etc. But it always felt like I was pulling teeth trying to build a type of personal connection with her. It really sucked because I really wanted to grow closer with her. From the start, it seemed like she held some sort of resentment towards me in a "you are taking my son away from me" kind of way. But I always continued to try and push the discomfort to the side and continue trying to build some sort of relationship. Fast forward a couple of months into the relationship, I felt like his mom started testing me to see how much she could get away with during the interactions. She started finding ways to bring up women from my husband's past, saying, "Well, you're a lot better than so and so," or "Oh, I really miss ex husband. She was so sweet and so fun to be around." It got to the point where my husband eventually called her out and told her to stop. She threw a bit of a fit and left the room and sat by herself. Eventually, when Dan went out to check on her, she cried to him, saying, "Well, I guess I'm a terrible mom," and things of that nature. Let me make this clear. My husband has my back from the start. He has always been amazing at calling things out and standing up for me anytime he's able to. This is not at all a situation where he wasn't standing right behind me, being another voice for me. He and I come from very two different upbringings, and he had been a doormat to his family for years. I understand that this seems like it had been going on for too long, but I had to give Dan grace because he also never been in this type of situation before and was handling it the best way that he knew. It's extremely hard to go against the grain, especially in a family that tries to manipulate you into being who they want you to be. It's easy to point fingers and say, "Well, he shouldn't have done that." But it was totally a new situation for the both of us. And we were both just trying to do what we thought was right. When Dan and I got engaged, she knew weeks ahead of time when he was going to propose to me. Dan asked for my father's blessings, and my family knew that he would be doing it soon, but had no idea when it was actually going to happen. The day that he proposed to me, he called our families to share the news. In the time it took us to return home, my family had put together the last minute engagement celebration with my sister, brother in law, aunt, and grandparents. We had snacks, champagne, and a little congratulatory gifts. We stayed for about an hour with my family before going to visit his. When we arrived at his family's house, his mother walked right past us without saying a word until Dan finally said hi, to which she responded, "Oh, hi." A different family member runs up to us yelling, "Oh my gosh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you guys." And then his mom says, "Oh yeah, congrats." The rest of the night, she the
blew the house down.
the rest of the night she proceeds to talk to me all about how a girl she knew was the most beautiful bride ever, showing me endless pictures of her wedding, not talking to me at all about the engagement. A few days later, we found out that she was very angry at my family for throwing together a little party for us and not inviting her. Let me reiterate. My family didn't know this was happening until we called them to tell them that we were engaged that day. Meanwhile, his family had known for weeks and chose not to do anything. As time went on, she continued to disrespect me and us through passive aggressive comments, talking badly about me behind my back, ignoring me, etc. This led to us seeking counseling on how to handle the situation. Eventually, we sat down face to face to try and figure out what could be done to grow a healthy relationship with her, and the entire time she deflected and made it my fault. These conversations happened on multiple occasions and still nothing ever changed. She just got more and more hostile. Time goes on, we get married. She speaks badly about me on my own wedding day. We still try to rectify things. I am basically now my breaking point. Do I continue this relationship with her? No, but I would never ask my husband to cut things off with his mom. If he feels that's what's right, he will come to that decision on his own. I trust him. Fast forward a few years, I get pregnant. Of course, she's over the moon, not because I'm having a baby, but because she's having a grandchild.
Wait, I need to call time out. Girl, you keep waiting for things to get better. Like I said in the previous episode, things will never get better. This woman will spend the rest of her life trying to make your life happen. She will stop at nothing to make you suffer. And that's why it's better to just end things. The in-laws are so important. Family is so important to me for a great relationship. Your husband may love you and everything, but you need to love yourself too. At the same time, too, your husband, he loves you. How does he not see that you're suffering? Why is he not trying to help? You can put his mom in check. You can. That's the thing. His love nothing more. I know you're such a time spent today, but this is not going to help. I meant to tell him to have a kid. Did you not watch my Garden of Life series? That covers where this is going to go. If you want to know, watch my Garden of Life series. This is not going to get better. And now the children will suffer for it. It's not fair to your children. And you think the children are going to not have resentment towards you? Watch the Garden of Life. Listen. Alright, I'm just gonna finish it up.
She was not part of my pregnancy journey at all. She did not reach out to check in. She never offered help with anything. Basically, radio silence until the week of my due date. Once the week of my due date rolled around, she would text me and to do what she called her daily check ins to ask how I was doing. But once I would respond explaining how I was feeling, she wouldn't respond. I felt like she was just checking off a box. A week or two before the delivery, we told our families that we didn't want visitors. And if that changed, we would let them know. My family respected that, of course. And there was definitely pushback from his side. When I went into labor, we sent a text to our families letting them know that we were headed to the hospital. His mom responds asking if we wanted her there and that she wants to be there because she needs to support her son. Her son, not her daughter in law who's giving birth. Okay, lol. He reiterated multiple times to her that we did not want visitors. About 2 hours later, he gets a text from the mom saying that she's in the waiting room and that she's just too excited she had to be there. I just stared at him in disbelief, but he reassured me that he would take care of it. He did. He went into the waiting area, told her to leave, and we carried on, and I gave birth to our beautiful baby. We didn't hear from her the days following while I was in the hospital. But we did hear from trustworthy sources that she was livid and that she was speaking very poorly about us while I was in 3 days postpartum. When we got home from the hospital, Dan called his mom to let her know that he was livid about her showing up.
Are you surprised at any of this, girl? You suddenly magically expected her to change? She's not going to change. It's only going to get worse. This is the story you signed up for. You need to make a change for yourself. You can't change other people, but you can change your response to them, and you can change how you go through your story. You need to look at that. Stop being in denial. It's not going to get better. Hello. Mhm.
And that she crossed a very serious boundary for her own selfish reasons. She cried to him, saying that she just wanted to be there for him and that she was just too excited to be a grandma. The entire time, she's trying to make him feel bad for telling her to leave, but after years of her disrespecting me, he was not having it. I also tried to just calmly explain why we felt disrespect. As soon as she heard my voice, she went absolutely feral, screaming, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to?" I went silent. I handed the phone back to my husband and he hung up. I reached my breaking point. I had the worst mental breakdown I've ever experienced. All while just days postpartum. I told my husband I cannot deal with the constant disrespect anymore. One thing led to another, and we ultimately decided to go no contact. He sent her a long, detailed message with our reasonings, and we haven't heard from her since. Our baby's 10 months old now. Dan and I feel more at peace than ever before, but his family keeps trying to convince us to reach out and try to mend things with her. We don't want to, and we don't feel like it's our job to once again try and fix things that we didn't cause in the first place. We just want to continue with our little happy family and protect our baby from the toxicity that came from my mother in law. Am I right or am I wrong? Total right.
You're right. It's long overdue, but okay. Let's see. Husband can stick to it and stick by you, and watch out. Watch out. Okay, it's more. Good luck to you, and I'm glad you have some time to put this down, but let's see if you fix it.
Now it's time for Solomon's Words of Wisdom, Summer Sessions Edition.
Hi, everybody. So, I know for the summer sessions, some of the words of wisdom have been a lot heavier than normal. So, today's words of wisdom, I want to dive into something fun. So, this year in particular, it's been crazy hot. Heat waves left and right. I know at one point there was something that I've never heard of personally, a code burgundy. I don't know if you guys were aware, but on the East Coast, you couldn't even go outside. And I was like, wow. And people were complaining about pandemic, about social distancing and stuff. This, you cannot even go outside, okay? The air was that bad and it was that hot. So, I know all of us, it's important to get exercise. It's important to get our steps in and stuff. But what do you do when it's crazy hot, right? Doesn't even matter if it's a heat wave. What do you do when it's crazy hot and you want to exercise? Not all of us have pools. Not all of us have access to swimming pools. So you can do what I like to call the Solomon workout. So what does that entail? Well, you can get a group of people or go by yourself. I've done it by myself too. And go to your local mall. Why? Because, at least for me, there's a lot of stuff to see. It's entertaining and you have air conditioning. Yay! So, the rule is you can walk by. Well, you're supposed to walk a lap around the whole upstairs, the whole downstairs, and if there's another building, you can go there too. But, do your laps, right? The rule is you cannot go into stores. You're not allowed to stop. You're not allowed to shop. You want to get your steps in. You want to get your exercise in. Once you're done doing the whole thing, then you can go inside and whatnot. That way you can get exercise and not pass out from the heat and have fun while you're doing it. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I love to look at little display cases outside the store. It's like, woo, entertainment, free air conditioning, right? So you can be comfortable, but still take care of your health. The other thing too is, unfortunately, malls are quickly becoming a thing of the past. I always tell my mom, I've never been a mall person earlier in life, but more recently I am, just because I know they are a dying thing, and probably 10 years from now there's not going to be malls anymore. So that's why I want to enjoy it now, and just, that way I can look back and be like, oh yeah, malls, that was a thing back in the day. The other thing too is a lot of the malls are becoming outdoor malls, and when you have that, you don't have the air conditioning for a heat wave or when it's crazy hot in the summer. So take advantage of those enclosed indoor malls and get your steps in and have fun. So the Solomon workout, try it, see if you like it. But my mom and I would do that all the time. So just a tip, throwing it out there. But you guys be kind to one another, be good to one another. And if you have any tips or ideas you want to share with me that I can share with other people, awesome, let me know. I'll see you guys next time.
That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to always be kind to one another. Take care.